All right, what's up, everyone? Couple minutes early, just getting everything set up. Once y'all see me, let me know how the sound is, and let's see what happens here. All right, and like I said, we'll just give it a few minutes just for everyone to set up. Like I said, I will get everything set up here, and we will get going. All right. All right, I see the picture right now. If someone out there could let me know how the sound is. I got Chemistry saying good evening to you. Ben, what's up? Good evening to you as well, sir. We've got a really cool stream for everyone today. And Metaman X says, okay, you can start. I'm here now. Well, I got to give other people a chance too. Let's just give people a few more minutes. How's everyone doing out there? How is it going? Hey, what's up, Simon? How's it going? Face to a voice now. Face to a voice. Simon got a sneak preview on what we're going to be talking about here because some really interesting concepts. And I want to get your guys' opinion on this because this is something that, I don't know, it's not that I struggle with it, but I'm really trying to find, I guess where we are in a place and time. So I've got a bunch of people chiming in. We got Bo Rabbit saying hi. We got Stefan Andre saying hello. Yoga Benita saying sound is good. Ben saying sound is good. All right, let's see. Audio and video check, both good. You guys seem to like it. I guess we can get started. What's up, everyone? Ooh, I ain't going to start like that. That would suck. Let's retry that. What's up, everyone? It is Klaus from Family Hobbies and Cards. Really interesting stream concept I want to talk with everyone about today, all right? And that is the idea of storing money with Stellar and transferring money with Stellar, all right? And let me do one quick thing here. I'm going to adjust my camera just a little bit here because I just want to make sure. There we go. Perfect. All right. Sorry about that. But yeah, it is storing money and transferring money on Stellar. All right. And I want to get everyone's opinion. So as I start talking about these concepts, you guys just start chiming in on the comments how you feel about it. I'll read them. We'll kind of check in. But all right, there's different ways to look at using the Stellar chain. And let's just stick with Stellar right now. Okay. The Stellar chain. You can apply this to Ripple. Ripple and Stellar are two good ones to apply this to. Most people think of Stellar as a chain where money just gets moved around, right? A lot of these tokens, a lot of these projects that you see, they're I don't want to say they're not tangible, but they're hard to put your finger on, right? I mean, when we start thinking about, hey, what DAOs do, it is really hard for some of us to just wrap our heads around the value of it, especially if the DAO is a mess, okay? But it's also really hard for us to see the value, some of us, on NFTs, all right? We struggle with NFTs. Now, you got to remember, there's a new generation of artists out there. They're digital artists, all right? And these digital artists don't work in normal traditional mediums. They work in just digital, okay? So, yes, it's digital, it's different art. So people kind of struggle with that concept. But the concept I want to talk about is, what about if you stored value on the chain? And that is very different than trading tokens. That is very different than what most people think of when they think of blockchain, but it is one of the most underutilized parts of the blockchain itself. And Jimbo Tango saying hello to you. So yeah, let's look at this, all right? We're going to talk about Realty Bits, all right? We're going to expand this conversation just bigger and bigger and bigger. We're going to look at Realty Bits, all right? Realty Bits is a team that takes different types of businesses, real estate ventures, all right? Takes them as a whole and chops them up and tokenizes them. And you then own part of the asset, okay? So for instance, all right, they have an Amazon building here, okay? And they have what they were asking for price-wise, $1,000 per AMZL, okay? And they have a token actually on the blockchain. And let me get to that here real quick. I was screwing around with that. Give me a second. Let's go to this and let's go to AMZL. We'll look that up real quick. All right, and you're going to see an asset on here by Realty Bits, all right? And that's this one right here, okay? So what you got is this, and I have now their account up on the screen. What you got is this. You have a company that took real estate, right? Big parcels of real estate, whether they were commercial, residential, it doesn't matter. They took parcels of real estate and they cut them up. and they cut them up and they tokenized them. All right. And so how this works now is they took real estate, cut them up, tokenized it. So now instead of us trading coins left and right, trying to make the profit, right? As coins go up 20, 30%, we try to sell and always time the market. Here, the token holders, the longer you hold, the more you get paid out. Or I'm sorry, not the more you pay, the more you get paid every month, all right? And so it's the more in accumulation you get paid out. It's not more every month on top of each other, not compounding, but accumulation. The more you get paid it just keeps adding up over and over and over. So for instance, right, if the renters of this parcel of land right here pay $150,000 a month for real estate, right, that gets divided up between how many different tokens you own on that. So instead of you looking at tokens and saying, hey, I'm going to think that this token was worth 25 cents and now it's worth 50 cents, I'm going to sell it and make up on the difference. No, instead, what people are doing is they're taking a big chunk of real estate, chopping it up into different tokens, and each token has a value. And so for on this one, they tell you what you're going to get back on your investment and what it's good for. This is a totally different concept than what you're seeing out there for the majority of projects, all right? The majority of projects right now launched on the blockchain have no value. They're not tied to a hard asset. And I don't mean they don't have value as me saying this negatively, but they don't have anything tied to a hard asset. I mean, think about it. How many of us would love to own a 100-unit building, right? An apartment building. But we don't have, right, all the lawyers to help us through with all the permits. We don't have the $200 million right there just to start going into it. No, we don't have that. But if you got a group together, all right, and bought, say, a piece of land like this, like an Amazon plant land, right, where they were going to build an Amazon plant on, then why not be able to do that, right? Why not be able to make that tangible? And that's the idea that is not being utilized on Stellar right now, okay? It is the idea that you can take tangible assets, all right? And you could go, they have different ones here too. They have a wind energy, all right, for that one. Yes, they have a wind energy where they bought a wind energy plant and they chopped it up and tokenized it. So instead of you making money on trading tokens left and right, trying to figure out if the money is going up or down, every month, whatever they get paid in rent, that gets split up between the token owners. So now we're not airdropping crap fiat, right? Because that's what most of these airdrops are. They're just crap fiat. It's just like fiat. They're pumped fiat, right? Printed junk. You're actually getting payouts for dividends, for royalties, for rent distributions on properties that are being split up into mini parcels. And I'm not sponsored by them. This is their thing. This is just something I came across. And I came across this about 4 months ago when they first came out. And now they've expanded their portfolio to a whole bunch of different things, even to the point where one of their projects is a land where Amazon plant was built on. I mean, and they have the numbers right there, and you can actually go in the blockchain and you could check it out, and you could actually see how many asset holders they have of that. I mean, it is very, very interesting. So not every project out there has insane amounts of tokens. So for instance, this one had 10,000 tokens. They just went into now 100, right? They consolidated it down to 100. And again, why? Because they wanted to split up a real asset. And that's kind of what I want to get out there. They wanted to split up a real asset to the market, okay? So that if you were buying a token, you were actually buying part of the land for this Amazon plant. So every month when they do monthly rent payouts, you will get a payout on that. That's how this stuff works. It is really, really cool stuff out there, but I don't think a lot of people know about this. I don't think a lot of people know that the big problem we have right now on the Stellar chain is that most of the projects on the Stellar chain, all right, and let's just go to Stellar experts, all right. Most of the projects on the Stellar chain aren't tied to an asset. Think about it. Aqua is not tied to an asset. Mobius is not tied to an asset. All right. A lot of these, they're not, and again, it's not, I'm not saying that these that are up here on the screen are bad. I'm just saying they're not tied to anything tangible. Right? So, I mean, so when we're looking at what else can you do with blockchain technology, you can do this. You could get a bunch of people together. You could slice up big apartment buildings, Amazon plants. You could tokenize them. Make it easier, right? So instead of you having to put up $1 million with along of your 1,000 richest friends, no, you could just sit there and you could buy as many tokens as you could as long as it was within, like, right, your price range. And it wouldn't be about the token going up or down in value, because when you look at these tokens, they trade very different. Let me see. I had one of these that had the price history on. Let me see. Give me a second here, because there was one that had the price history on it that I was looking at, and the price isn't big. Well, yeah, the price isn't big because the value isn't in the price of the token. The value is in the payouts that you get. And then when, right? I mean, that's how it works. So it's a totally different way of looking at it. Let's get to these comments here, and let's get a little bit of water. And let me know, what are your thoughts on using blockchain for stuff like this? There's projects out there like this, but A, they're not being advertised. And B, there's so few out there. The rest of these projects are junk. All right, so MetaMan X says taxes. Yes, there's definitely going to have to be taxes. I wish... there's always someone that's on the stream. I won't bring their name up, but anyways, yes, there are taxes. There are 3 different ways. You could do this through an accredited investor. You could also say that they also have one that's a non-accredited investor, and then they have an institutional pool as well. Let's see. Stephen Andre says, is Realty Bits based on Stellar? Yes, they are based on Stellar with backing from Coinbase. And so if you're looking for their projects, right, they have a couple of them right here. Like, for instance, they have a single family home that they sold that they did this to in Boston, Massachusetts. So we can go on the blockchain, and let's do that. Let's open up a new window, and let's get another Stellar Expert window up here. And let's do this. Let's put in Burke and see what this looks like. We'll do this on the stream live. I don't think I looked at this one. So Burke, here's their asset. You can see it on Realty Bits right here. It's asset Burke, assets.realitybits.com. You could click on that. And what's really cool is if you want to know, like, if people are legit, it's got their website right here. And I went on their website to check it, and the owner, I found out who the owner is. They have a public LinkedIn profile. Super easy to find out who these people are. And thank you, Simon, for chiming in. For the life of me, I was not thinking of what the heck the darn form was that you're going to get for that. But yeah, so they have a whole bunch of different assets. But look at Burke right now. This is another one, right, where they had a whole bunch of people. They chop up the project into these asset holders. So, I mean, it's really, really neat because, like, I mean, I don't know, this is a whole different way to use the blockchain. And it's a way that's just untapped right now. It is a way that just people are just not using the blockchain for, because the majority of these projects on here, there's no value to them. The value, it's really hard. It's not tangible. It's really, really hard for a lot of people to wrap their hands around it. So yeah, like, if you're going to tell me, all right, to explain to people what Lumen Swap are, they're going to have a tough time with that. But if I tell you I just bought an apartment building, right, that has 10 units on it, and I'm going to tokenize it, and every month you guys are going to get a rent check, right, a disbursement. So whatever your proportion of the tokens are, you're going to actually get, like, real XLM back or real USDC, right? Or you had the choice to get, it back. I mean, these are the options and these are the possibilities on Stellar. So really, really cool way to do it. Now, granted, these things are going to need DAOs, right? They're going to need organizations to run them, obviously, because these are still legit businesses and they need to have some sort of corporate direction. And I don't want to say corporate direction, but business direction. So there is obviously a DAO that has to be involved with this too. And let's get back to those comments. Sniff says, I hold XLM, but I have to say the Terra Luna ecosystem is the most lucrative out there. My only concern is that the powers that be won't let it continue. We are all worried about regulation. Trust me, we are all worried about regulation. Vegan Habibi Justin says, just got $200 more of XLM when I hit 25 cents last night. That is a good pickup. Aiden Roldan says, that's not a beer. No, Aiden, Adon, if I'm saying that right, my wife, you can thank my wife for this one. My wife said that she is going to give up booze during the week with her sisters and her brother for the month of January, and I decided to be an idiot and support my wife. So I will make sure I do live streams on the weekends so that we could drink on the weekends. But yes, so you can blame my wife for me not drinking on stream. You got Stefan Andre saying, interesting, collecting rent without effort. Profet chiming in. And thank you again, Simon Lacey. Yeah, the form will be a 1099K. War Galley says, due to how long this pullback has been, I am tapped out into my next payday to buy more. Yeah, this has almost been now the second longest, right? Or it is the second longest. It is not the longest yet. The one we had actually in June was longer than this. War Galley says, or I'm sorry, Steven Iron says, I want in. Metaman says, at Sniff here too. Yeah, this has been interesting stuff. So what is everyone's thoughts about this, right? What is the idea of now, instead of investing in some of these tokens that we don't necessarily know what they're tied to, we don't know if they're backed, right? I mean, even look at USDT, right? Tether's not backed 1-to-1. So you could be investing even in an asset that's a stable coin that's not backed. That's crazy. That is a very, very risky exchange of money. Or you could invest in projects like this, where actual projects are taken and chopped up. This is an apartment building, wind energy, in a single family home. Let's look at the apartment building really quick. All right. Let's see, FRAX. And what's really cool is you can look all this stuff up because on the seller chain, here we go, asset. Let me see here. I got to see which one this is. It's going to be one of these. All right, well, I will do that one later just so I don't stall you guys because I have not seen which one that is. But yeah, it's really, really cool concept. And the cool thing is a lot of these companies are done by legit people. They are. It's legit people. We got Metaman saying, support your wife or no dinner. I actually do a whole bunch of the cooking. I swear to God, I do a whole bunch of the cooking. I get to stay home with the dogs, so I do. I'm really, really good with that, and I spend a lot of time cooking. Let's see. Profat says when USD goes to 0. Yeah, no, and that's the whole thing, all right? We're worried about inflation. We're worried about this stuff. But one of the things I wanted to bring up too about this is, remember, we have a crypto hearing tomorrow, all right? Congress is going to be having a hearing tomorrow, all right? And what's going to happen with that is they are going to be big on blockchain. And I have an article here up on the screen that goes into detail, and this is done by Chairman Frank Pallone Jr. Let me highlight that gentleman's name up here real quickly. That was really, really bad, but yeah, Frank Pallone Jr., all right? And essentially what is going on with this, all right, is that they are talking about the energy impacts of blockchain, especially Ethereum and Bitcoin. Proof of work tokens is who they are going after. Some really cool stats, all right? And this is how you can tell what the theme of this hearing is going to be, and that the teeth of this they're there. Because this is in the first part of this letter, this open letter. All right, the first part, in the background part, they start ripping on Bitcoin and Ethereum energy usage right off the bat. And let's go to those stats for you, and they are in blue on the screen. One analysis indicates that the energy required to validate just one Ethereum transaction today could power a U.S. home for more than a week. Yes, one Ethereum transaction could power a U.S. home for a week, while the energy required for a Bitcoin transaction could power a home for 70 days. Yeah, think about that. So this, right off the bat, they start off with throwing tangible statistics out there for people to think, wait a minute, one transaction could power a home for a week? Yeah, they are right away. We can tell what they are going to be going after in this hearing, and I wanted to make sure that you guys all see this. I am going to be watching this tomorrow. Again, I will have the link and stuff in the description below. And actually, they are on a whole bunch of videos out there that I have. But anyways, they have a link for this right here. It is on their webpage, energycommerce.house.gov. You can go on there and you can find the hearing on cleaning up cryptocurrency. As you can see, it is cleaning up cryptocurrency. It's even in the title what they plan on doing. All right. Let's see here. We got Sniff chiming in, or we got Vegan Habibi saying, I got my older brother into accumulating XLM and a few of my friends. Good for you. Super smart. And they got a big runway ahead. I really do. I really believe they have a huge runway ahead. A bunch of good opportunities coming out. Again, I know you guys hear me say this often. It is early. This is earlier than early because we're not even regulated yet. right? We are the ones having the conversation seriously before the big stuff happens. Let's see. So I'm just trying to get caught up with the conversation here. So Sniff says, I've been watching Peter Schiff go back and forth with Bitcoin whales on Twitter. What's interesting is he only goes at Bitcoin. He doesn't trash other cryptos. Yeah, he does. He does focus his efforts on Bitcoin. Prophet says, I'm serious, that dollar note will be worth nothing. The dollar is getting killed by printing. Just getting killed by printing. All right, and let's see here. We got MetaMan X. So how many pieces does a building get chopped up, and what will prevent it to be oversold? Okay, so that's kind of something. MetaMan, that's actually a really, really good question. And Simon, hopefully you're listening to this one now, because holy crap. Okay, let's talk about that, MetaMan. We were talking about this, right? What if we bought an apartment building and we wanted to take that apartment building and chop it up, okay? Really interesting. How do you know it doesn't get oversold? Well, what you are going to do, you're going to have your initial offering of any of these projects, okay? Like, for instance, and that project is going to be, well, for instance, MetaMan, you could see it on the ledger, right? You could check to see how many tokens. But the big thing about it is that's going to be tied into the legality and knowing how legit these companies are. But again, if you take that 100-unit apartment building, right, and that gets chopped up, the value of each token, okay, just think of this. There's two different things you got to think about here. The value of each token is based upon what the market is willing to pay for it. Sounds stupid, sounds simple, but it's true. It's just supply and demand. End of story. The second value of the token is that every month you get a payout. Yes, you would get a dividend, a payout, a royalty. All right, so that's the second part of it. The majority of the tokens that you see here don't have a direct asset tied to it, number one. And number two, a lot of their payouts and royalties are printed fiat airdrop crap. All right, this is real stuff. So how does it stop from getting oversold? Realistically, when you do the initial token offering, you get to see all of that written out. All right. So that is a really easy way to explain it. It gets written out and you know how it is split. So this is a totally different way to use tokenomics. All right. Totally different ways. All right. So let's get back to the comments here. We got War Galley saying, with the concerns about how much energy Bitcoin especially uses, will that finally make the market begin to decouple from it? God, I really hope so. I really, really hope so, because what got me on this is right away, right off the bat, they said energy impacts of blockchain, Ethereum and Bitcoin, and they specifically go after proof of work. So you have people here that are at least in the know to understand the different mechanisms, right, for validation, proof of work. That is big. That is just big right away to hear them talk about that right off the bat. And let's see. We got buy ISO coins, forget everything else. I kind of like that. Let's see. Ben says, how do you feel about these high energy independent tokens? I like the energy independent tokens. All right. But see, and that's the whole idea. So Ben, what you're going to have is you're going to have a ranking or a rating system eventually that's going to happen. Okay. And I'm going to get to NFTs here soon because I got some cool stuff on here. But you're going to have a ranking or a rating system, all right, Ben? And eventually what's going to happen is you're going to see coins that are ISO compliant and coins that are not, right? Of the coins that are ISO compliant, you're going to see some of them that are going to be good with energy, some of them that are going to be bad with energy. Of the ones that are going to be good with energy and the ones that are going to be bad with energy, some of them are going to be extremely expensive to use. Some of them are going to be extremely inexpensive to use. There's going to be separations of each. And that's what the joy about this is most of us that got into this as this big lump, this unmolded lump that we haven't seen. And now we're seeing this lump start getting just formed into something really, really amazing. And that's kind of what you're seeing. So Ben, yeah, how do I feel about these high energy dependent tokens? I am awesome with high energy independent tokens, because you're always going to want energy is always going to be at the forefront of just conversation, all right, and scrutiny, especially with blockchain, all right, and especially with them just hammering on them right away with the amount of energy that they use. Prophet says, the gold dealers, you mean the treasonous government gave it all away, but we took it back. The gold dealers. Yeah, and let's see, MetaMan says 70 days per transaction. Yes, That is true. One Bitcoin transaction, and I got that up on the screen right here in blue. And we're going to talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum. You want a stat? Here it is for you. One analysis indicates that the energy required to validate just one Ethereum transaction could power a home for more than a week. Yes, one Ethereum transaction for a home for 1 week. What about Bitcoin, you say? Well, I got that up on the screen in blue. The energy required for a Bitcoin transaction could power a home for 70 days. 70 days. Yes, 70 days. That is crazy. Vegan Habibi says, I plan on holding XLM for 5 to 10 years and just accumulate along the way. That is my plan too. The more I'm getting into Stellar, the more I'm thinking, my original time frame was like 3.5 years about a year ago for it. About 3.5 years about a year ago. So now 4 years, somewhere around there, 3.5, 5 years, that window. But now the way I'm looking at it, seriously, I'm so into this, especially now. I've been accumulating it really, really cheap. I've been super happy to get at this levels because this is before regulation chops in. All right, so let's see. So Sniff says the first Bitcoin documentary, The Miner, which the documentary was focused around, was throwing up the occult gesture all throughout. It was certainly created by an organization. Crypto Boy says, why nobody talk about SHX? It will replace XRP in US and Canada. So many good people behind this product. You know, I think the problem is Crypto Boy, there's so many darn projects out there. There's so many darn projects out there, and most of these projects, all right, when you look at them, are not about value. They're about the movement of value. Very, very different. We're talking about putting the value on the blockchain, right? Tokenizing real estate, tokenizing energy projects. I mean, that is crazy awesome. Jimbo Tango chimes in also, not to mention how Bitcoin energy consumption is raising people's energy. Yeah, because there's a demand. There's a huge demand on Bitcoin energy. All right, so one of the things I told you guys I wanted to keep bringing up, and that is Litemint, and it is auctions, all right? The reason I want to bring this up is I have a couple auctions in, but there is an auction that I am going to bid on. I want this auction for the channel because I want to use it as a background in videos because I want to keep spreading the word about Litemint and projects built on the Stellar chain. So there are a couple auctions here, and I know someone in the channel that is going to love this stuff, all right? So I have a NFT up for auction right now. It is called Stellar Moon. Have it up on the screen. I am going to use the proceeds from this auction to purchase this one right here, and I will show you guys here in a quick moment. I am going to use it to purchase, hold on a second. They have a whole bunch more auctions on it. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to use it to purchase this one right here. And this is one that was done by Leaf Global, okay? And Leaf Global is teaming up with Stellar to open wallets on the blockchain to help refugees keep their money safe while having to move across borders. And we have a lot of workers actually out there that are using the Stellar wallets to help them maintain their money safely. And so I saw this. This is a verified Leaf Global auction. I'm going to bid on it. It tells you the details about who the creator was. So yes, I am going to be actually auctioning my NFT off to purchase this one right here for the channel. I know a bunch of you guys out there aren't into NFTs, but I do have a bunch of you guys that are into NFTs. And a previous NFT that I have made, all right, my biggest NFT to date, I do not own it. I'm just telling you right now, I do not own this. But someone purchased an NFT of mine and now has it up for auction right here. It is the first edition Machamp Hollow. Yes, this was one of the earliest NFTs that I made, like hardcore. And I built this NFT. A fan purchased it, and now a fan is actually auctioning off this NFT. So it was really, really cool stuff here. NFTs on Litemint, fun thing to do, and a total expanding ecosystem. I know a bunch of you out there are like, yo, NFTs are totally crazy. I'm not talking about the one shilled by like Jake Paul and Logan and all them guys. No, I am talking about, or FaZe Clan, right? I can say all that. I'm talking about ones that are done by digital artists. And speaking of digital artists, all right, you guys are going to love this. the channel got itself its first awesome treat, and that is this. I got myself a digital pad, so now I will be able to, once I know how the heck to use this stupid thing, I will be able to write, draw, craft on the screen, and create a whole bunch more digital projects and have more digital innovation with the channel. So thank you to everyone out there for supporting the channel, because I was able to use the support from the channel that you guys have all been so cool with to purchase this digital drawing pad. So when I start talking about different projects, when I start talking about different coins, different tokens, it is going to allow me to draw on the screen and actually be able to do this while streaming and while making videos too. So it is because of your guys' support out there that I was able to pick up that piece of equipment. So thank you all. Let's get back to these comments and let's see what's on everyone's mind here. All right, so War Galley says, XLM is working with Canada for their CBDC project there too, I believe as well. War Galley, guess what we can do? We can use the blockchain. Let's do this, right? Let's go to the VCAD. All right, so VCAD is an asset, all right? Here we go, stablecorp.canada, asset VCAD. You can actually look all this kind of stuff up. It is really, really neat. You can pick it all out. You can hold on, let me see here. You can put that in the VCAD and you can explore the different assets that are on there. All right, there you go. You can see assets, you can see asset holders, and there are different VCAD programs, all right? You do have to make sure you look it up. But yes, the Canadian CBDC is launched on the Stellar chain, all right? And you can look all of that stuff up right here. All right, let's get back to it. Simon is chiming in with, oh yeah, no, I did see the comment with Sniff. Justin Ford says, think 10,000 XLM is enough for generational wealth in a decade. Justin, it is super hard to tell because I don't know what your spending habits are. I don't know where you live. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. And I mean, that's on you. Just do the math, right? Just do the math on where you think it could be and multiply it out. Let's see. Vegan Habibi says, ETA are criminals, man. And they're shady. ETA got a free pass and XRP got hit with a lawsuit because they wanted to monopolize ETA. Android Sanjin chiming in, another channel member here. Hello, sir. Hey, dude, nice to catch up on the stream. Nice to see you here on the stream. Metaman X says, if you know what you hold, it does not matter if it goes down short term. Think long term, and we all win. And I'm with you on that, Metaman. These pricing things here that have been happening short term, I'm really not too focused on them, to be honest with you. And let me get my cool Stellar chart that I always draw and that everyone likes so much. Let's go to the full screen here real quick for everyone. Let's go. Yeah, so these hits right here, okay, I've got them drawn out. You could see the hit we're in right here, which is on red on the screen, and I'll make sure y'all could see that. It's red on the screen. This hit right here that we're in right now, this mini bear cycle, is way less of a hit than what we saw starting in mid-June that went to early August. The one in mid-June and early August went way deeper down to 20 cents and lasted for longer than we're at now. This one hasn't gone down nearly as far, but we're getting close in terms of time. We're only a few days away from it being the same amount of time on this mini bear cycle. Let's see. Stefan Andre says, any news on the Stellar smart contract front? No, I have not heard anything on the Stellar smart contract. That would be interesting because I want to know, how is Stellar going to tackle smart contracts without it clogging up the network and taking crazy amounts of time? I am totally curious about that. And if I have, if I've got Simon up in the chat, and Ben, holy crap, man, you did not have to do that. Yeah, Ben, that is super huge. Wow, I don't know what to say. No, that totally will help towards the purchase, and we will definitely do that. And like I said, you guys wonder like where the stuff goes to, and Ben, seriously, like, I am speechless. The support from the channel goes to like stuff like this. Like I just got this in today. They delivered it at 7:30 this morning. My poor post lady. It's a digital pad, so I can write, I can draw on my screen. I'll be able to do it with live streams once this all works. But Ben, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Ben has been one of our big supporters on the live streams, in the member section, comments, views. Wow, thank you, Ben. I totally appreciate that. And Simon, we were talking on the phone not too long ago about prices of gold. Did you see this move in gold right here? Holy crap. Look at this. Wow. Okay. Sorry, just looking at it right now. Let me just get this to the 5-day, because yeah, look at that. That is one heck of a movement right there in gold. That is very, very healthy. Sorry, Simon, we were talking about that early. But Ben, yeah, thank you. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, that's where a lot of support of the channel goes. It goes into the technology of the channel, goes into all the different stuffs, right? The lighting, the cameras, all that kind of cool stuff. And there are ways to support the channel. You are welcome to support it by doing an NFT auction. But what Ben was talking about is that the channel is going to purchase this NFT right here. Let me get that up on the screen so you guys know what we are talking about. Ben and I have been emailing back and forth quite a bit today regarding this. And it is this. I want to purchase this because this is verified by Leaf Global, a program that launched on the Stellar chain, where they are allowing, all right, they are allowing, I don't want to say allowing, that sounds bad, but they are educating refugees in Africa on how to use the blockchain, how to create NFTs, and how to mint those NFTs, all right? Did a big story on that. Let's see if I can get the article up on here, because as you can see, I have a whole bunch of fun stuff here, and I should have that. Let me see, give me a second here. But there is an article on that with Leaf Global Financial. And that one, again, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of caught off on that. But yes, Leaf Global Financial partners up with Stellar. Huge, huge thing here, because this is something that I want to get behind, because, again, this is another verified artist on Litemint. So to catch everyone up on the stream that we got going on, we are talking about tokenizing assets. Yeah, tokenizing assets. We're not just talking about the blockchain being something that we slide money across on, right? Because that's the other thing too. Let's think about this, okay? Let's think about the majority of the projects on the blockchain that you see. And this is all blockchains. I am not picking on Stellar. This is all blockchains. I am being completely honest with you guys. All blockchains, all right? All blockchains are littered with tons of projects, tons of tokens that are tied to things that have zero value, okay? And I don't mean zero value like they don't serve a purpose. I am talking about value in terms of holding value. There are projects on Stellar, and there are going to be more projects launched on Stellar that now take different things like Amazon, right? Real estate that an Amazon plant would go on. So a big commercial plot. They also have wind energy plants, single family homes that have been chopped up and tokenized. There's a whole bunch of avenues out there for tokenization that are legit. And this is why the Stellar chain, and this is why a bunch of other chains out there aren't growing, because the majority of the projects don't have value that people can understand. They just don't have that. But we do have companies like this that have projects out there, but they just don't make them known, and people have no idea that this technology is used for that. So really, really crazy stuff. And again, big thank you to Ben R. Ben is a super supporter of the channel, everyone. Been a member for a long time. Helped the channel out with a bunch of stuff. A lot of good information. And so Ben, again, a sincere thank you for that. And let's get back to the comments. Metaman X says, awesome, building up the studio. Thank you, Metaman. Vegan Habibi saying, let's go, Ben. Yeah, definitely a let's go, Ben. I think everyone should give a big shout out to Ben, because that support goes a long way to making these stories happen, and a long way to just upping the tech of the channel. Like, you got to think I upgraded the microphones, cameras, lighting, you name it, because I want to keep bringing this out there, because there's very few channels out there covering Stellar as in depth. All right. But one of the cool things was, and while we got that on, and Josh, I just saw you. Hello, Josh. How is it going? And let's see. We got Script 3 is developing their smart contracts. Looks interesting. They're developing new technologies, a type of traveling smart contracts. Jimbo Tango, I am really interested in the smart contract thing. I really am. I am looking for smart contracts because, to be honest with you, that's the problem that's clogging up Ethereum, right? Ethereum is being clogged up by smart contracts, all right? And for those of you that are on the stream right now, you're getting a sneak peek, all right? You're getting a sneak peek at this. Stellar versus Ethereum, 4 key differences to know. Amazing article right here, because this talks about the difference between Stellar and Ethereum and how people use it and how it's viewed. Amazing article. I am going to be talking about that because it is going to be big, because we know Ethereum is in trouble now with energy, okay? We know that. Why? Because in the first paragraph of the hearing, the energy impacts of blockchain, Ethereum and Bitcoin were mentioned with some nasty, nasty stats in their energy use. And if you want to know some more nasty stats on energy use, comment below and let me know, and I will read off a few more of these. They are just eye-opening out there. Jason Hughes says, any update on the SDF MoneyGram? Simon is completely correct. No news yet, but the first rollout of the 11 countries is going to be soon. Yes, it is going to be soon. It is important. Why? Because that is 11 big news articles for Stellar. So each time one of those projects rolls out, that is a news for here in the United States, because MoneyGram listed on the US stock exchange. So it's always going to be big news here in the States when a MoneyGram project launches, and it's always going to be big in the receiving country of that MoneyGram project as well. So that is two big markets being tapped every time a news story launches with the MoneyGram rollout. Let's see. Ben says, love your channel and really hope it grows for you. You deserve it. Well, thank you, Ben. The channel has, sorry about that. The channel has been growing quite dramatically. I think we started the month just I think 3,100 subs, and we're at like 3,800 now. So honestly, the rate at we're going, we should easily break 10,000 subs by the end of 2022. Seriously, we should easily break 10,000 subs by 2022. And it is because of the support of people like Ben, Josh, all you guys out there, Simon, you are huge thanks to this too, because you keep my brain going, you keep me thinking about different things too. And so this is a big ecosystem that we are building here. Big stuff for everyone because we are all learning from this. All right. Let's see. So Jimbo Tango says, look up Project Venus for Stellar smart contract development. I will have to do that. Let me just get my trusty notebook out there, Jimbo. Sorry, I'm starting to write everything down, and let me just do this real quick here. Look up Project Venus. I will do that. All right. All right, Project Venus. And Simon Lacey says 300,000 locations for Stellar USDC. And the best part about that, Simon, is that all those USDC transactions use XLM, right? And that goes into this fee pool right here. You can see up on the screen. Got that up here, right up on the top, right above my picture, okay? That fee pool. So any of these transactions that happen on the Stellar chain now starts locking 1/100,000th of a lumen, that's what it is for each transaction, into this fee pool. That is unaccessible lumens, only accessible by a protocol vote. All right, so if that makes sense, that is taken out of circulation. It's in circulation, but it's out of circulation because it's not being used, right? It's not being able to be garbled up and spit and traded over again. And this now creates mechanical hodl pressure by transactions. And you're like, well, wait a minute. How big can this get? How big can this fee pool get? Because this fee pool right now is at 2.6 million lumens. Well, if you look at Stellar's transactions, and that's here in the orange, holy crap, are things happening, and are things happening fast, all right? Each one of these orange bars up on the screen represents a 2-month time period, okay? A 2-month time period. So for instance, let's look at these last couple. Each 2-month time period, all right, is getting 440 million transactions, 423, 440. All right, we are only in the first couple weeks of January. Essentially 1/4, 25% of this 2-month time period. Pretty close to it. We're pretty close to about maybe 27%, somewhere around there, 28%. We are at 198, 200 million transactions in the first 19 days of January. We are going to see this time period right here, this January, February of 2022. You are easily going to see 600 plus million transactions. 600 plus million in a 2-month time period. And War Gallery has a really, really good question, and I have the answer to it. War Gallery says, does that include transactions using Coinbase card with USDC? Okay, regarding Coinbase with USDC, if you're using USDC as the payment method, it depends on if it's in their pool or not, okay? Here's what I mean. Are they running it on the Stellar chain, or is the USDC in their pool and they're just swapping within their pool? That's what you have to find out, War Galley. All right. That is the big thing right there. So any transaction on the Stellar chain, and remember, okay, so like for instance, if you own XLM in Coinbase, all right, I'll use that as an example. If you use XLM in Coinbase, all right, that is very different than owning XLM on the wallet level. In Coinbase, okay, if Coinbase, you own it in there, Coinbase has its own pool in XLM, has its own separate wallet, okay? Inside that Coinbase wallet, they can do whatever they want, right? If they're just moving stuff around on their end, like they say, hey, we're buying 100 million from you and we're going to put it, that's their end, okay? So that's how you can see the difference between these transactions. But what we were getting at here, and sorry, I got a little bit off point here, but what we're getting at is this XLM fee pool right now has 2.6 million lumens in it. And that's because every transaction, 1/100,000th of a lumen, goes into that fee pool. The last 2-month time period, November, December, all right? And let's do this. Let's back up because I can show you guys something really cool. All right, this last big jump up in time period right here, okay? This last ramp up, okay, that you could see here on the screen. And you know what? Let's get a even better chart for that, all right? So let's go to this one. Let's go to chart number 3. Give me 1 second here. We are going to open this up. So chart number 3 is going to show us this. All right, this last ramp up, I have it up on the screen here, of 646,000 new asset holders, okay? Those new asset holders that you can see right here, the blue line on the screen, those asset holders are fueling all of these new transactions here in the network. This is huge because if you think of up to this point, 2.6 million lumens are locked. They're going to start locking lumens faster and faster and faster the more transactions that are on the Stellar network. Think about this. You're at 200 million transactions, almost half the number of transactions in the first 20 days of January versus November, December of last year where there were 440 million transactions. That is huge. That is massive in terms of locking down the coins on Stellar, okay? Locking down this fee pool, this 2.6 million lumen fee pool. And remember, the only way to unlock it would be with a protocol vote. And oh no, things are getting bad because Barno is here as well. We've got a lot of channel supporters chiming in here today. Barno, how is it going? And we have Coach MC saying, how do I get my XLM out of the Coinbase? We have a lot of supporters here on the channel. What's up to everyone? Coach, I don't think you can get your XLM out of the Coinbase pool unless you sell your XLM and then you have to buy, because remember, when you own on the Coinbase level is its own thing. That's their own pool. And I'm trying to see, oh man, I had their Coinbase wallet here on Stellar, and actually I can find that. I can show you guys what a Coinbase wallet looks like and what I'm talking about. But what they have is they have Coinbase wallet on Stellars, okay? And so you go up in here, and it's going to be one of these crazy big ones, all right? And you're going to see it. So this is Binance's. This is Bittrex. Let me see if I can find Coinbase. Give me a second. I used to have all these set up here. Binance Cold Storage. This is Network Upgrade, Binance, Bittrex. Let me see if I can find Coinbase for you real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you have Krakens right here. You have Nexo, OKEx, okay, blah, blah, blah. So there's going to be a whole bunch of them in here. Well, either way, you're going to see, here's some Coinbase action right here. Okay, so you got some Coinbase ones. These are like, so this is within their pool. All right, so as you can see on the network level, they're not messing around with lumens. That's all in their own separate pool. All right, so that is kind of interesting there. So, Coach, when it comes to how do you get your lumen out of the Coinbase pool, the only way to get it out is to sell it, from what I understand, because you can't pull it out. All right, I mean, that's kind of the weird thing. So when you look at it, they have their own pool, and you can see it up on here on the screen, right? This is a Coinbase one. They buy a set number of lumens, and that gets fueled in their trading pool. It's like their own liquidity pool they make. That's the best way to think about it. But let's get back to the comments. That is what I'm curious about as well, Coach, as I have been in crypto stuff for less than a year. Yeah, and Android has got it right. That's why I want to buy LedgerX so I can use my XLM where I want to. Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things. So when you buy it on Coinbase, you don't get any of the same perks or benefits that you get on the ledger level. And so to let people know how I do it, all right, I will tell you guys how I have it set. And again, this for me, it's not financial advice, nothing like that. I'm going to tell you how I hold my stuff and how I use the Lumens, okay? I have a Coinbase Pro account, okay, that I have Lumens in. I also have a Webull account that I have Lumens in. I also have a channel wallet that I keep, okay? I also have my own personal wallet on the ledger as well. So I'm participating in several different ways, okay? So I have actual holding on the wallet level. I also have holding in the institutional level with Webulls and with Coinbase Pro, all right? So very, very different there for you. Barno says, I am good, but I'm going to need to listen to said medication. Yeah, and Barno, what we were talking about today is this, Realty Bits. The idea of actually taking a good product, a legit product, like an Amazon, like the property an Amazon building would be built on, taking that up and tokenizing it, splitting it up into a bunch of different tokens, and you getting paid royalties or rent checks every month. That's what we're talking about. Because the big difference right now and the big problem that people are struggling with Stellar, and this is God's honest truth. I think this is one of the big hidden reasons why people are struggling with blockchain and with Stellar, is because if you look at all these tokens that I have up on the right, okay, these are launched up on the Stellar chain, all right? Just take a quick look at these. How many of these tokens here, and I'm not ripping on them, this is not what we're talking about, okay? This is a totally different stream. How many of these tokens here are actually a token of value? Actually have a value tied to it. I'm not talking about a price, but a value tied to it, right? So when you're holding Mobius, what are you holding? It's really hard to sell people on that, right? But for instance, okay, if you own the token, and I just had it up here, where was it? AMZL, okay, which is Amazon land, all right? Amazon land. You actually own a chunk of that real estate. And so when Amazon pays you rent every month, you get a portion of that depending upon the agreement, the portion of the tokens that you have. All right. So this is a very, very different way of looking how you can store and use tokenization. All right. Because right now what we're seeing with tokenization is people out here are screwing around with a lot of projects that have great technology, but the project is crap or the product's crap. That's a big problem we got right now, is the product is crap on most of these chains. And I'm not talking about schemes. I'm not talking about scams. I'm talking about just the product is crap because a lot of them aren't tied to anything. Even USDT, a stable coin, is not tied to actual money. That is horrible. Like, that is really, really bad. So you have projects out there like Realty Bits that invest in everything from Amazon real estate, all right, to early stage development projects, to apartment buildings, single family homes, and wind energy plants, all right, where they actually take an apartment building and chop it up into tokenize, right? They tokenize it. And so that way, the more tokens you earn, or the more tokens that you buy of this real estate, the more rent you will get out of the rent pool every month. So instead of fiat, just stupid airdrop rewards, you're actually getting paid legit money, USDC, XLM, whatever you want, and that's how it works. I mean, that is pretty interesting. Go back to the comments here. And again, Android Sanjin, thank you for chiming in. And Ben R, again, super thank you to you. Let's see, Ben R, you got a real good question, and I can go over that, Ben. Why do you think they're adding coins to the circulating supply when the price is so low? The circulating supply has gone up since I first invested 18 months ago. I'm sure it was 23 billion. Yeah, you know what, Ben, you can track that here. I'll show you how to do that, all right? And again, big shout out to Ben. Everyone on the channel and in the chats, let's give a big thank you to Ben for his support of the channel, because his support of the channel is making a lot of things possible. So Ben, huge thank you on that. All right, so Ben is asking about circulating supply, okay? And you can actually check that right here. So you go click on one of these little XLM logos. You are going to see this circulating supply. So Ben, 18 months ago. So this is 1 year. This is one here. So 20 billion was the circulating supply. So to answer Ben's question, why are they adding coins to the circulating supply, is super easy. Stellar's using these tokens, okay, They are using these tokens to pay for these projects, to pay for the infrastructure that's going on, okay? So when you look at Stellar, they have a mandate, all right? And we can do that too. And what we're talking about right now is Ben R's question, all right? But why are they adding tokens to the circulating supply even though the cost is low? They're doing that because of this. They are using different wallets, all right? And I've got that up on the screen right now. They've got a use case investment account. They've got their escrow accounts. They've got ecosystem support. So for instance, in this ecosystem support wallet, they use these lumens to pay for different things on the ecosystem. You name it. I mean, it could be everything from, it could even be their expenses too, because think their expenses, SDF's expenses come out of this. And that's kind of the thing that we all have to keep in mind. The amount of money that's being increased in this circulating supply is going to a whole bunch of different projects. A whole bunch of different projects. And remember, Stellar still has 6 billion lumens left in their marketing budget. 2 billion lumens, my bad, right here. And I've got it up on the screen. SDF marketing support. They have 2 billion lumens ready to roll with that. All right, so let's get back to the comments. And if you got a comment and if you've got a question, please put it in the chats on the side. So Ben, hopefully that answers your question. The reason they're adding to the circulating supply is Stellar uses lumens to pay for these projects, the infrastructure, and everything to build the ecosystem. All right, that is the thing. All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Ben. All right, so MetaMan or Wigbuster187 says big stuff coming. Be ready, January 20th. MetaMan X says suspect can't pull off exchange. Better get your crypto off exchanges. Yes. Let's see. Wigbuster187, 1132 duration, obligations, case of occupied territory. What? I do not know what you're, not related to what you're talking about, but stuff to come. Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Josh Fisher, Wigbuster, January 20th is tomorrow. What are you expecting? Josh might be talking about the crypto hearing that's going on tomorrow because they are going to hammer Bitcoin and Ethereum in proof of work utility mechanisms. They are going to hammer them. And it is in this article that I have up on the screen right now, a letter written by Chairman Frank Pallone Jr. It is an open letter to all the people attending the crypto hearing tomorrow. Bitcoin and Ethereum is going to be in the forefront of what is going to be going on tomorrow in the news. All right, let's see. Android Sanders says, I'm a little into conspiracy theories. Yeah, I am into as well. I mean, there's some definitely interesting conspiracy theories and some interesting stuff I found while exploring the blockchain. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff out there. And again, big shout out to Ben R. As a channel, we are going to be purchasing this NFT at auction on Litemint. I also have an NFT that I am auctioning myself in Litemint. And again, Litemint has been growing fast. I did a stream, I don't know, about 3 weeks ago or so, talking about Litemint, saying it was really, really quiet. Well, that is not the case anymore. You are seeing more and more auctions, more and more verified artists showing up on the platform. And I have this right now, this NFT up for auction, up on the screen on Litemint. It is Stellar Moon. It is something that I made, and you guys are going to love this, because the piece that I used to do that with, and I'm going to see if I have it here. I do have it here. You guys are going to love this. So what you're seeing up on the screen, that massive, massive piece, that is actually this gravity incense burner. And I was able to take that, clip it, and make it into an NFT digital art for Stellar that I have right up there on the screen. And yeah, seriously, Big Ben, huge support to Ben. That is really, really awesome. So yeah, plenty of different ways you can help out the channel, but that's what the channel is focusing on right now. We're going to be doing more with NFTs. We're going to be doing more about teaching people about NFTs. We are going to be doing more about promoting NFTs on the channel and helping out. Wigbuster187, family, how can I contact you? Need to talk to you about something. Well, you know what? Let's do this, Wigbuster. Let's tell people how to get a hold of me, all right? I think that's really, really cool to do. Let's do it. Okay, so if you go on the channel page, okay, And if you go to about, and you have to do this through YouTube. I don't know how it works through, I don't think it works through Shorts. I'm not really too sure. But if you go to the About section, all right, I don't know if it works on mobile. You're going to see a thing that says View Email Address. If you click on that, my email address will be there. I check it fairly often, all right? So for those of you out there that want to get a hold of me, send me an article, want to bring something up, ask me a question, all right? All you got to do is go to the main page, go to the About section, and click on View Email Address right here, all right? That then will go to my email. I will check it. So Wigbusta187, hopefully you saw this. Hopefully you see the instructions on how to get a hold of me via email. The email is super, super easy. It's familyhobbiesandcards@gmail.com, but a lot easier to copy and paste off the button. All right. So we got Justin Ford chiming in. Fingers crossed that XLM can get enough huge deals running. Huge money, though. It'll be able to hit 110 to 20 years. Yeah, I mean, the runway is huge for Stellar. The runway is definitely huge for Stellar, but what's going to make Stellar work even better is the more tokens we get on the chain that actually have assets tied to them. That is big, 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 big. And Josh, thank you for chiming in. Josh Chiming says, oh, okay, your email didn't show up on mobile. And I think that's what it is. If you're trying to find my email on mobile, I don't think you're able to. You have to go on, go to the PC, and you'll see in the About section, View Email Address. If you click on that, it's going to expose my email. So yes, Josh, thank you for bringing that up to my attention. We got Ben R says, yes, answer my questions, but wouldn't it make sense to add them when the price is higher? Surely keep adding coins will bring the price down, especially when it's low. Yes, it does put sell pressure on the lumens, okay? But look at it this way, okay? They need to pay bills, all right? And what's really, really cool about this, and this is why I like Stellar, okay, is when you look at these accounts, they're all public. You can actually go in their mandate and you can actually see all of this stuff on here, where they spend their money, okay? If they did not spend money right now, and I know what you're saying, why not like burn coins when they're worth more, right? Doesn't that make sense? All of their assets for Stellar are on their chain. So their escrow is in Lumens, their direct support, their ecosystem support is in Lumens, SDF early employee grants, all their stuff is in Lumens right now. So they don't convert until they use it. Once they use it, they then convert, but they store everything as Lumens, all right, at the moment, and then they burn or transfer it, right? They off-ramp it for what they need cost-wise. So yes, it totally, and that's why, Ben, that's why they're not using their marketing support, all right? And if you look at their marketing support, they have $2 billion, all right, for marketing support. And where did I have that here? User acquisition marketing support. I got that up on the screen right now. They have 2 billion lumens for that. The reason they're not tapping into that now is A, they're like you said, they're not going to get the value out of it, and B, it's not the time. All right, so that's kind of something I'm keeping up with, Ben, too, is how much are they dumping, and are they dumping it on a consistent basis? If they're dumping it on a consistent basis, Ben, we can actually figure out going backwards from their total lumen supply, how many lumens they would have, and when SDF would be over. Because once SDF is over, that's going to be a lot of information there, all right? I mean, a lot of information, because then you can start mechanically tying to, okay, well, wait, now they're not burning tokens. We can start figuring this stuff out. So, I mean, that is really, really big. Android Sanjin chimes in, how does it look legally with the whole NFTs? Do I have to create something completely new that I could sell it as an NFT, e.g. the Pokemon card? Clearly in a video, you don't have to. All right, so Android, that's the whole thing, all right? Okay, let's just talk about NFTs and let's talk about art, all right? And I'm going to leave some NFTs up on the screen. Here's how you think about it, okay? If you've ever traveled to a museum, all right? I'm a huge Art Institute fan. I love art, okay? I suck at art, as you guys can tell. All I can do is digital art because I suck at traditional art, all right? But here's the big thing, okay? With art, right, if you go to the museum, your favorite art pieces, all right, and I can do that right now. Watch this, all right? Mona Lisa poster, all right? So you can go and you could see the Mona Lisa, right? Or you could buy a $7 poster on Amazon, or you can buy a nicer poster that's a little bit bigger on all posters. You could get prints, you could get digital prints. I could go on this poster here. I could probably right click it, do a little save as. Okay, yep, I could do a save as. So you could see, you can get art in so many different versions, right? So many different printings, right? Printing 1, printing 2, printing 3. You can have etches. You can have all sorts of different versions of art. What I want people to understand is NFTs are the first vision of digital art, okay? There's a bunch of us out there. Okay, so for the channel, if you guys want to know like where like channel donations, channel sponsorship, channel membership money goes, all right? And Ben's got a really good point at Wigbuster187. Become a member. Klaus has genuinely given me so much of his time and info out of his channel, which I appreciate. And Ben, I do appreciate that. And if you guys are wondering, I used channel money to pay for this digital drawing pad, all right? I am not an artist in the sense of I'm not going to paint. You're not going to see me with a canvas painting. I have to do everything digital because I just don't have the motor skill, right? So I can do digital editing like this. I can build stuff like this, the Pokemon card stuff. I can build stuff like this. That's my medium that I go on, okay? So my medium, this is the first attempt to get my medium, my quote, digital medium out there in an art form. All right, so it's a little different out there. It's a lot crazier to think about. But this is the first revision of digital art, and how do we get digital art out there? So let's get back to Android's question, right? So do you have the rights to sell it? The one thing I would tell you this, if you are going to do NFT art, don't go, sorry, I'm starting to wheeze a little bit. Don't go steal someone else's stuff and pull it on there, all right? So like, for instance, this Pokemon one that I built here, I actually own this Pokemon. I actually own a legit first edition Machamp Hollow, all right? Just throwing it out there, okay? I do. Give me 1 second, guys. But I actually do. I used videos of this card to create this NFT, all right? Like this, I use this to create it. I've purchased NFTs for backgrounds of my videos, okay? So if I go to here, let's go to my favorites, all right? I'm just gonna go here real quick here. Go to my favorites, right? I use some of these designs for some of the backgrounds that I use in my video. Vane is a channel member right here, all right? For instance, I wanna purchase one of Vane's 3D infinity cubes and place one of my own logos on here, something like that. So you just have to understand, how can you use, right? How can you use NFTs? How can you use this digital art to get it to work? So in terms of legally, I will tell you this, any art project, all right, that I do, all right, any NFT art of mine that you see for sale, I burn mine. I kid you not, I burn mine. End of stories. I actually have a folder here where I actually do videos of me burning my files. Like I actually do. I actually have burns of my files where like I do take videos and stuff of me burning different files here. And it like, so for instance, this one is, this is Machamp burn. This was literally a project, and I'm 99.9% positive this is the exact project. This is one here, and I'm not going to, no, let's resolve it. We can resolve it in the background. But I NFT delete. Here's another one. Yeah, here's the project I was looking for. That was my project. This is the real one. So this was another NFT I made. I do. Any NFT I make digitally, I actually delete off of my hard drive completely. It's on the blockchain. Like, that's it. Like, that is how I do it. Everything that I make on the blockchain, I delete. So whatever you own, all right, that is it. You have it. There is nothing else out there of that particular product. So like, for instance, the one that you see on the screen, right? I actually used this right here. That's that little design right here. I actually used this little gravity, right? This little incense gravity thing, right? On a green screen in the living room in order to make that happen. So really, really interesting stuff out there regarding NFTs and all that fun stuff. Let's see. So Metaman X says, watch out for scammers. Yes, and actually that's a really good point. So when it comes to Litemint, all right, you want to look again for the check marks, all right? Those are verified artists. What's really interesting about verified artists, for me to become a verified artist and anyone to become a verified artist on Litemint, you actually have to go through a background check. All right, that is legitimately how it works. I had to submit my information. I had to submit IDs. I had to submit different social networking things so they could make sure that my pictures match up so they're not spam or scam accounts. You do. You actually go through a process on Litemint to become a verified artist, right? And so one of the things I said was, hey, one of the ways you guys want to validate who I am a YouTube channel with my own email on there. Why don't you verify me that way? So yeah, really, really interesting to see. Yes, watch out for scams. Stick with verified accounts, all right? And the thing that I have been so awesome with Litemint, all right, lately is, okay, and I understand a lot of people aren't into this kind of art. Like, I get that. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is the amount of art now being launched on auctions in Litemint is huge. It is huge. We are seeing more and more art being launched on the Stellar chain. And that is something awesome to see. So for instance, I have this piece up here on the screen. It is going to expire in 7 hours, 25 minutes. I am now bringing a whole new use and ecosystem to Stellar, getting people to bid on my auction in Lumens, right? How cool is that? You can set your price. I set mine to Lumens. You can set in that USDC. They have a bunch of different options out there for you to choose on. Part of supporting the ecosystem. All right, so we got Stephen Andre says, I'm wondering about that too, Android. There's a lot of cool digital art on the web that hasn't been tokenized, and I just copy it. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. You guys, I'm gonna be real here with you with NFTs. You guys can copy whatever the F you want. But remember, you can buy a copy of the Mona Lisa. I could go on here on this picture, and yes, I can right click it, save as, and use it in a picture. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you can do that. Is it legit? I mean, okay, you know, I'll let you decide if that's legit or not. But like, from me, from like my artist end of it, any pictures you guys see of mine, and actually I know what I did here. Any NFT project you see of mine, I have actually burned those files. Those files have legitimately been burned. In fact, you know what? I even have a video that I just saved, another burned video from all the other art that I made. So it's all about how you want to use it. Chem Mystery saying, good evening to you. We got Ben R says, I cannot wait until they start marketing. Same, Ben. I am super excited to see them start marketing. The big thing, though, that I want to see from Stellar is, are they going to use the money correctly? Here's the big thing. For those of you that are on the stream right now, and I'm doing good, Chemistry. I'm doing really, really good. Glad to see you on the stream. For those of you that are watching the stream right now, how many of you knew about this? Realty Bits. Taking real estate and chopping it okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do people know about this? The biggest fail of all of these things, okay, is that they haven't been marketed at all. So for instance, I would love to have got into an apartment building where they tokenized it. I would have loved to do it because I could then track it on the blockchain, right? I could track all the transactions of it, but I didn't know about it. And I think that's the same problem with Stellar. Remember, Stellar has this $2 billion in marketing support that they have yet to tap in. Sorry, 2 billion lumens. My fault, guys. 2 billion lumen of marketing support they have yet to tap into. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm with you guys. I am super excited, waiting for them to tap into it. Android Sanjin says, okay, that wasn't directed as you, just an example. No, don't worry. You didn't offend me. I know NFTs are really tough. Seriously, no one's going to offend me with their viewpoints in NFTs. If you tell me that NFTs are full of crap and all that, I'm going to totally respect your opinion. Just remember, as an artist, I do burn all my files. I do. Any NFT of mine that you see on Litemint, right? So any NFT that you see, they are burned. Okay, so for instance, I got one really cool. I used one of the NFTs. Someone actually bought it off of me. It was really cool. Someone actually bought an NFT off of me, which was the start to one of my videos. It was like a thumbnail, right? As soon as that thumbnail was bought, I deleted it completely. Like, I deleted it off the video, replaced it with a stock image, end of story. So really, really neat to see. It's all about how the artist holds themselves and how they view their art, all right? It is a big, big thing, and I know it's not for everyone, all right? I know it is not for everyone. All right, let's get back to those comments. Steven Andre says, I actually have a modified 3D printer, which I make laser pictures with. Wonder if I can tokenize my picture, sell it for a good price, send the real picture in the mail to the owner. So Steve and Andre, you want to do something that I am super, super into. And you guys want to know what I want to do? Give me like a split second here. I have it right behind the screen. Because you guys, hold on, I don't want to knock over my camera here. But I got something I want to show you guys. Because that is what I'm going to be working on here. So the channel name, and sorry about that, I'm right by the camera. The channel name is Family Hobbies and Cards. One of my big hobbies is I love cards. What I want to start doing is I want to start tokenizing some of these cards. I want to start tokenizing, so for instance, this Nolan Ryan card. Create an NFT on Litemint, all right? Kind of like create an NFT and be like, hey, if you want it, show me proof that you own it and I will actually send you the card. And kind of do that with like cool, legit cards, like 87 Roger Clemens cards, right? So yes, that is something I've actually been thinking about. So Steve and Andre, that idea is the best one. If you really want the idea of NFTs to stick, your best idea is to take your NFT, right? And why not tie it to something real? Tie it to a baseball card and send them the card or the product, right? Do a 3D video or do a video of your product, right? And then NFT it and put in there, be like, hey, you know, show me once you have that, boom, I will send that to you. Why not? I think that's a pretty cool idea. It's almost like using eBay, but we're using the blockchain instead. So that's actually a really good idea. Android Sanjin says, to be regulated as soon as there is legal certainty, it will become mainstream. Yep, and that is the whole thing. We're waiting on legalization. And one of the big things that we're going to hear tomorrow is the energy concerns regarding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And they are going to be rough. And my only concern, I'm kidding you not, all right? My only concern right now is that Bitcoin and Ethereum get pounded tomorrow and it pulls the price of the entire crypto market down because we're just not mature enough yet as a crypto market. That is something that I am super, super worried about right now is exactly that. That the whole idea of crypto is going to be in trouble with this hearing tomorrow with Congress. All right. So yeah, let me know what you guys want to talk about. Let me know your thoughts. This is another cool one right now. And again, some of these NFTs, guys, they are extremely inexpensive too. So for instance, this is a stellar intro that I did here. This stellar intro, it is only 10 lumens. That's it. That is it. And yeah, Stefan, that is a great way to put it, like a receipt. The NFT makes it like a receipt. And then what you can do, right? You can then validate that person by going into their wallet and seeing that that NFT is really in their wallet to verify if you should send it to them. So it is really, really cool. And then all they would have to do is send you a super, super small transaction from that wallet to show that they were actually the holder of that wallet. And then boom, that is your own do-it-yourself smart contract. That is pretty cool stuff. So I'm glad we figured that out on the channel here. That was actually really, really neat that we did that. So guys, this is why we do the live streams, right? To figure out cool stuff like this. Because you know what? I think my next big NFT project, besides using my cool digital pad, is going to be this. I'm probably going to bust out some of the big hitter baseball cards, and I might just start saying F it and start selling them as NFTs and saying, hey, if you want the card will come with it. Like if you live, say, like within the United States or something, I could easily ship that to you because I wouldn't want it to get damaged internationally or for people to pay taxes on that kind of stuff. So yeah, totally cool. Let's get back to the comments. All right. To the Moon says, so if you burnt any art that you own that is on the blockchain, it can only be accessed with your private keys. Yeah, the owner of that is whoever's the owner of it. That's kind of the idea, to the Moon. And that's how I do it. Okay, this is how I respect art. And I'm being dead honest with you guys. All right. I suck in terms of drawing. Like if y'all want me to like draw like pictures and stuff like that, please don't do it. Right? My art has to be digital. All right. It really does. My art is digital. In fact, even like my handwriting, and all right, and you guys can make fun of me all you want. Here, that's how bad my handwriting is. All right. I don't know if it's in focus or not. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. My art is digital. So for me, the value of my art is I don't have the same eye as these people do. But the value of the things that I do are digitally created, all right? I'm big into photography and I'm big into videography and video editing, all right? So that's why you see a lot of my art is animations. I believe in animations and sound in my art. So what's really cool for me is I can build digital art with animation and sound, and I can use it as a way to raise awareness for the channel, to raise funds. I can use it as teaching tools. There's so many different things you can do. Let's get to Ben R's question here. And sorry, I'll make sure I get up to these questions, guys. Sorry about that. Ben R says, what about photography or art? And the photographer gives the buyer a unique code to the actual photograph, not a digital signature art through the post, not just digital art. Yeah, that's actually a good way to do it. And so, Ben, I'm really, really big into photography. I mean, like, freakishly big into photography. I mean, like, telephoto lens. Like, I love, like, all my nature and hiking and photography. I'm big into that. I have a macro series of shots, like the most insane macro shots you guys have ever seen out there. I want to mint those on Litemint and do the same things. That digital file actually goes with the NFT. So, for instance, this file right here is actually like 30 something megabytes in size. They have a 40 megabyte cap. So Ben, yeah, I could actually attach that to it and they could have the file. So, I mean, there's many cool things you could do with this. Stephen Andre says, I'm going to challenge myself in mint one this weekend. Stephen, if you need help, let me know. Let me know. I can totally help you out with minting stuff. I'm going to do that too. I'm going to mint a whole bunch of stuff because, again, one of the things that I have to say thank you for, and again, super thank you to Ben and super thank you to everyone else for supporting the channel. I was able to buy myself a digital writing pad so that I can create more digital NFTs and so that I can create more drawings on the screen when I'm trying to work with people. And what's going to be cool is I'm going to be able to do it while drawing like this. I'm going to be able to use it on screen interface, live stream, and during chats. I am super, super excited about this. Let's see. Coach MC says, could the hearing tomorrow be a platform for Bitcoin and Ethereum to sell their latest ideas on how they will do business with less gas? It could, Coach, but you know what the problem is? The problem is they're in deep trouble. All right. So they could pitch whatever idea they want. Congress knows that they can't go after crypto right now with legislation, because it's going to take really, really long. And because crypto is not owned by one country, right? There's different rules, different countries. So Congress is going to struggle with that. But what Congress can't struggle with is how do you take care of energy impacts? That they can regulate using existing law. All right. So even if the product, the security, the token, right, that's being minted and the coin that's being minted, all right, is not regulated, they can regulate energy and environmental impact. And in fact, one of the big chunks that they talk about here in terms of environmental impact, and this is really, really crazy because they have a thing of how much each transaction. Okay, here, I got another stat for you in yellow on the screen. And like I said, Congress can't go after crypto just yet on regulation because it is so global, but they can go after crypto based on mining and energy use. And here's the stat that they threw in to tell you what they're looking for. It is this. It's under carbon emissions. According to research on proof of work cryptocurrencies carbon footprint in 2020, get ready, a single Ethereum transaction added more than 90 pounds of CO2 to the atmosphere. Think about that. A single CO2 transaction on the Ethereum chain added 90 pounds of carbon dioxide. Do you know how big of a tank 90 pounds is of carbon dioxide? That's a big tank. That's one transaction. All right, so what about Bitcoin? Because I know we're all wondering about Bitcoin because that's who's going to get hammered here too. While a single Bitcoin transaction added more than 1,000 pounds of CO2 to the atmosphere. All right. So again, totally crazy, right? They are going to go after high energy use. If they can't do it on the regulation end, they're going to do it on the energy and the harm to the environmental end. I could easily see that happening and easily see them going after it right there. All right, let me switch up to a couple stats because I know you guys like the stats. So I want to make sure I leave the stats up on the screen, and the blue one is the good one. All right. All right. So let's get back to the comments. Silence is golden says, hey, watching you on catch up. Hold on, give me a second here. Jumped on live. You can get your Lumens of Coinbase. I had around $800 and transferred to Lobster. However, I have 30. So Silence, if you could let us know how you pulled that off on Coinbase without having to go on the loss end. And Steven says, thank you. I will let you know when I get stuck or when I'm about to put it up for auction, get some feedback and ideas. Yes, definitely do contact me for feedback ideas. I do not mind. Barno says, ask yourself, are Ripple and Stellar actually two separate blockchains? I say this dual chain phenomenon is actually nothing at stake attacked against a single lucrative block. I mean, they are totally different, all right? I know they have their similarities, but they are totally different, all right? And again, it's the teams behind them too are completely different. So the direction is going to be very different. We got Android chiming in. Even if they completely switch to green energy, the amount of energy used remains the same. And that's Android, thank you. Thank you. That is the best way to say it, Android. That's right. It doesn't matter. Even if you use green energy, you're still using a crap ton of green energy. And just let everyone know, we're going to run the stream to 4:20 today. Don't laugh. Jesus, you guys. We're going to run it to 4:20 Eastern Standard Time today. So if you got questions, comments, get them in now. Let's see. Let's get to some more of these comments here. Barno says, actually, a nothing at stake attack against a single lucrative block can easily be hard forked between Stellar and Ripple. Do you get more money? This buddy sent me this. Yeah, Barno, send me that, please, if you don't mind. And Barno, again, another big supporter of the channel. Barno has been helping out. Thank you again for that, sir. We got Jimbo Tango says, I feel Congress is looking to put carbon taxes on crypto. Something, right? They got to do something with it, right? They can't regulate them the finance way. They're having trouble taxing transactions on the blockchain. All right, so they can't get money tax-wise. So I could easily see a carbon tax, or almost like you'd see with the expensive luxury cars. You could see something like that happen where they put the gas guzzler tax on there as well. Let's see, Tanny005 says, I see you hype XLM a lot, but there hasn't been any significant happening with Stellar since its creation. And the thing, Tanny, is I don't hype Stellar, all right? When I want you to think of hype, I want you to think of hype as just unbaseless, like rah, rah, rah. Everything I do is I talk about the stories, I talk about the news, I talk about the facts of stuff, all right? And then I give my opinions on it. And my opinions, Tanny, and I'm just being fair here, I'm not calling you out, nothing like that, but anyone that has watched this channel knows I call it out straight. Yeah, Barno, send me an email, man. Definitely send me an email, Barno. I'll get back to you. But yeah, Tanny, I'm not, seriously, I'm not calling you out or anything like this, but anyone that watches the channel knows I am not about faking the funk. I call things out on the good and the bad. For instance, with Stellar, something that I am not happy with is this, the active users. I have this up on the screen. Daily active account sucks, right? On this level of Stellar, all right? I'm not happy that a bunch of these tokens here on the Stellar chain are just garbage leech tokens. So yes, Tanny, like I do like XLM. I am a bull on XLM, but I'm also very critical on Stellar. I have been critical on Stellar Development Foundation not being interactive with their fans. So kind of just throwing it out there, all right? All right. Ben says, my brother is amazing at drawing. He's a massive collector of art, Evel Knievel, DC, Marvel cars. He's drawn. I'll post a few. Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty cool, because I mean, we can do stuff like that, Ben, and I mean, we can do all sorts. I think that's the idea, Ben, is we don't know yet what we can do all this, right? We're just scratching the surface. And so when you see this stuff like the Strange Heart Club, remember, this is version like 1.0 of NFTs on Stellar. I mean, like this is 1.0, right? This is like when the first version of Craigslist came out, it was janky and it was crazy. So Ben, you've got a really, really good idea. And it's just, the problem is we're just learning now how to do this. I'm just now learning how to mint and put some digitalized art and digitized art on Litemint. I'm learning how to work within the ecosystem, right? I'm learning how to work with these auctions. These are my first auctions that I put up on here. So for me, I can now start coaching people. Hey, how much do auctions on Litemint cost? Right? I mean, so stuff like that. This is really, really interesting stuff here. And what we can do with the blockchain is what we can do with it. Like, for instance, I have some crazy, crazy rare cards that I can auction off on Litemint. All right. And say, hey, if you want to own the card, guess what? Your purchase price includes shipping as long as you're within like the States or something like this. You know, totally cool. Yeah. And coach, see if that works for you. Cause when I was trying to do it back in the day, now mind you, that was for me, I mean, a while ago with them with Coinbase, I was not able to do it then. If that's changed, coach, please look into, and let us know too, if that works too. Wigbuster187 says, I sent an email, got some amazing news, left contact information. I appreciate it. And your brother is a tattoo artist and acrylic painter. See, and that's the whole thing. My daughter's big into art. I wish she would get into something digital like this. You know, like I'm like good at editing. Like, you guys want to know like what I do? I'm like big into editing. That is my big thing, man. Like, editing is my big thing. I love digitized stuff. So for me, this is my new way of getting into it. Wigbuster, let's see, coach says, Silence may try this with some of my XLM. Yeah, Silence, Yeah, it's if you can help them out with that, if that's available now, that's great. Again, I've been off that part for a while. I have not held my lumens on that level for a long time. So yeah, bunch of cool stuff happening on the channel. We are talking NFTs. We are talking this Energy House Committee hearing for crypto. This is going to be big. And real quick, if you don't know, all right, and real quick, I'll get to Android's question right now. What is the maximum price you think XLM can reach long term? There is no limit, because remember, anything that mechanically happens with Stellar, let's just pretend Stellar goes to something crazy like $1,000, right? A token. You can always have a protocol vote that changes the amount of lumens you need to open a wallet, the amount of stroops it takes for a transaction. So the theoretical limit on Stellar, there is none, because they can keep changing the amount of stroops. They can keep changing the amount it needs to open a wallet. That is going to be big. And we got Sniff chiming in, and thank you, Sniff, for that. Dog fan in the house. I have 2 dogs behind me that are sleeping on the floor. Luckily, they have been quiet sleeping the whole time, and I'm not going to wake them up because I had them out in the yard today playing in the snow. Sniff says, is it possible that institutions holding a majority of ISO 20,000 2022 coins conspire to keep prices low? Yeah, Sniff, I was just talking to Simon about that, and Simon, I'm a really good person. Simon and I were talking about that, and we were talking about how you can tell they're holding things back. They are holding things back, and the reason they're holding things back because ISO is not ready yet. Regulation is not ready yet. All right. A lot of the stuff that we're talking about right now is so early in the mix that, yeah, they do. They have to hold it back, because here's the problem. A lot of banks, a lot of institutions, a lot of institutional money can't go into XLM, can't go into any of these chains because they're not regulated. That's huge. Think of the institutional money that cannot be put into crypto right now because it's not regulated. We are talking billions and billions and billions and billions and hundreds of billions of dollars. I mean, think about that. Think of all the hedge funds in the United States that cannot invest in crypto right now because it is not regulated by the SEC. That's how it goes. And I know Marquise would chime in. We got Marquise from Chicago who's always watching. Marquise and I are always talking about that. Until the SEC does that, the big hedgies can't come in. That's just, they can own it on the personal level, but not on that institutional level. So no, Sniff, you're right. It's totally possible. It's totally possible. And the other big thing though too, Sniff, is I want you to think about this. The other thing holding back the price of Stellar is that the majority of tokens that are launched on the chain don't have any legitimate value or use. I'm not picking on people. I'm not being mean, but it's true. They just don't have any value or use. And Coach MC's got to run. Thanks for everything. No, thank you, Coach. And if you need anything, you know where to find me via email. All right. You guys just make sure you know that. And yeah, $1 gazillion. Yeah, hopefully, right, the United States doesn't print so much darn fiat that the $1 gazillion doesn't mean anything anymore. Yeah, that's going to be crazy. So yeah, that's what we've been talking about. We've been talking about, let's see, so Tanny says, what's your Bitcoin call for the end of February? Ooh, the end of February with Bitcoin. Guys, trading is going to be boring. Has anyone paid attention to volume lately? Let me go back to that chart here real quick. And like I said, we're going to go to 420 today. We got 5 more minutes. Don't laugh on the time. I just picked a random one. Jeez, you guys, get your heads out of the gutter. But let's do that. Let's go to the Bitcoin chart real quick here, because we had a question regarding Bitcoin and I want to answer that. So we're talking about price on February. So let's blow it out. Let's go to the 6 month. And so for a visual sense right here, so we're talking about February. Look at the volume. You see how low the volume has been down here compared to what we saw in this last run right here? The volume's been real off, especially here recently. This has been really, really garbage. I just, that's the thing. So Tanny, in terms of like how strong can this Bitcoin hit, man, by the end of February, I would love to see Bitcoin back at the 50,000. I just don't see that happening unless something cool happens, right? Bitcoin, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about tomorrow, because I do own some Bitcoin. I do own some Ethereum. They're not my big holdings, but I do own them. But with them mentioning Bitcoin and Ethereum so heavily in this on energy usage, this makes me wonder how many investors are going to pull out, and if the market starts separating from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Really, really curious about that. So yeah, I'd be happy with Bitcoin 50,000 by the end of February. I'd be freaking elated. I don't think it's going to happen though. I really don't. There's too much short-term headwinds going on that we have to deal with. Let's see. Wigbuster says the SEC will be gone. Watch. Stephen Andre, at this SEC speed, we won't be regulated for the year 2100. It's true. So, right, if the SEC can't get it done, then guess what? We're going to have to regulate stuff based on energy use. We're going to have to rate. What about taxes? See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's totally possible. Silence is Golden says, we want catch regs, not SEC regs. CFTC regs. Yeah, and when ISO is going to help. Let's be honest here. If a token is ISO compliant, and if a token uses less energy than Visa per transaction, and if a token uses like next to no energy per transaction, and it's super fast, and it's super safe, and it's clawback, I don't think we're going to have to worry about them hurting them. I really don't think we're going to have to worry about them hurting them that hard at all. Let's see. So Wigbuster says, Bitcoin trash will drop to 10,000, probably even lower. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Bitcoin, I kind of wonder about the whole Bitcoin and Ethereum bubble. But you guys got to remember, part of the thing is we're not mature enough as a market yet. Bitcoin and Ethereum can pull us down with it because a lot of people don't know how different Stellar is versus Bitcoin and Ethereum. That is just the case right there. And other things that we've been talking about on the show had a huge spike in gold today. Look at the volume that happened today with gold, and it drove the prices up. Look at that. That is a big movement. For those of you that do not follow gold markets, this is a massive movement. Look at the amount of volume in the gold market here that just happened today. Something we're going to have to keep our eyes on. And again, I know we don't all follow gold, but gold is great for the market, for keeping an eye on where money is moving. Just a couple minutes, Mir, and then I'm going to be heading out. Ben R says, Android Sanjin, 1 pound, 10 pounds, 100 pounds. Why would you not invest everything you can and afford to lose in 18 pounds? It's dead certain we're all going to earn big money. It's true. It's just the thing is, Ben, is I think a lot of us are going to be taking bumps, right, man? A lot of us are just going to, and like, okay, here's a good way. Ben, I'll shout this out to you, all right? When the price of XLM goes down, my viewership goes down. When the price of XLM goes down, the nasty comments I get about how my articles suck and all the good news I have don't move the price, that is what I hear. All right, I'm telling you, when the price is good, this is the best channel in the world. Everyone wants to watch, everyone wants views, and so forth. The current investor right now, Ben, is very finicky, and they're very, very soft-handed, really, really soft-handed. They don't understand waiting 2, 3, 5 years for an investment. Everyone wants to go on the rocket now and get out there now, and that's not how this stuff works. All right, yeah, you can catch lightning in a bottle every once in a while, but that is not how it normally works. So, Ben, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. XLM is super, super undervalued, right? The big problem is, though, is the majority of the market wants instant gratification, right? They want the hit right now. Silence is Golden says, you guys should follow Blockchain Backer. Best analysis out there. He's a top guy. Look at Silence trying to tout other people out there. Look at that. Tanny005 says, it is your fault. What is my fault, Tanny? I'd be very, very curious about that. But no, seriously, that's how it works, Ben. It is your fault. Apologize for the, yeah, no, it's seriously, I'm telling you guys, when the price of Stellar goes down, I get nasty emails and nasty messages, and I let them fly. I let them go. Seriously, I respect everyone's opinion out there. As long as it's not like racist or anything like that, I let the comments go. But I'm telling you, that is totally, totally how it is, right? It's totally how it is. Stephen Andre says, I don't really care if Bitcoin goes to shit and takes XLM with it. I can accumulate more and more, and the project's happening in Stellar Network. It is going to happen. And Stephen, that's, you know what? That's my thing too. My thing with Lumens is this. If there is a short term, I have my finger on the trigger. I am kidding you not. I have been watching the charts like crazy here, waiting for just a stupid pullback on stupid news leading into tomorrow or even going into tomorrow. Just seeing what can happen on that move, on that hit. Because you know what? I've been able, during this time right here, I did not buy. I only bought once, all right? I only bought once during this time here, and it was right at like 32, 33 cents. Otherwise, I've held my money, and I have been buying during this whole time right here. Right here. I have been busting this all the time right here. So, yep, that's what we got going on. We're at 421 right now. I wanted the end of stream at 420. Wanted to say a huge special shout out there to Ben R. Ben, you made a whole bunch of stuff possible on this channel. A big shout out to Sniff. You guys, this is awesome stuff. This has been a great stream. I've had a whole bunch of fun. So I'm going to do the outro. And don't worry, we have a whole bunch more live streams coming up, everyone. Don't worry, I have a live stream tomorrow. Let's go to the calendar real quick here while I got you guys up on the screen. I have a live stream tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to talk about what happens with crypto and Congress, all right? Because we know the hearing is going on tomorrow. Details, got them up on the screen right now. We also have another live stream at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. And don't forget, the channel the channel has the Stellar Moon Litemint NFT for sale. If you want help creating NFTs, launching them, how to do auctions, how much the stuff costs, hit me up in the emails. But yes, everyone, thank you so much for your support. This has been one heck of a cool stream. Ben R, super thank you to you. Super thank you to Sniff. Super